Supervision. To me, I think supervision is when coaches look at or they follow players and see what they do around campus and how they act as a person. Between Coach Walker and Coach Hester, I know when I first came here my freshman year, Coach Hester was the coach, and when it came to curfew on days before a game, he would let us go out to our high school games if they were close enough, and our curfew was 10 o'clock, and we had to meet on the game field, and pretty much he did that so that way we wouldn't be screwing around anywhere. But he would have pizza ready for us after each meeting, and our meetings would normally last about, I'd say 5 to 10 minutes. And with Coach Walker, when he came, we now do a Friday meeting as well, but we have a movie night as team bonding at 7, and that normally ends around 9:30 because he comes in after the movie and talks to us after the movie, obviously. And Coach Walker, something that he does that Coach Hester didn't do was that when it came to midterm grades and just having good grades in general and not getting in trouble, after a practice or a certain practice, he would talk to us and he would express to the team the players that were doing what they were supposed to do. And Coach Hester never really did that. And Coach Hester didn't really follow us in the sense of when it came to checking on if we were in class or not, and Coach Walker does. He has his coaching staff come to classes and classrooms to see if our players are in the rooms and that they're attending class. Something that Coach Walker and Coach Hester did differently was that Coach Hester, we didn't really have a radio show. We had more of like an interview. And with Coach Walker, we go to Uncle Buck's, or in the past it's been DJ's, and we've had some interviews and some with the radio show guy, and we got to eat and also talk to the radio host, and we could get on TV. And then when it comes to study hall, Coach Hester, when I first got here, did not have study hall. And when Coach Walker came here with his new staff, they had something called AEP, Academic Enrichment Program, which we had, if you were below a certain grade point average for your certain year, you would have to go to study hall, which is 4 hours during the week in the library. And on Sundays, we would go from 5 to 7 every Sunday, and that would add up to our 6 hours total. So that kept us up with our academics, and if you did well enough and your GPA the next semester was higher than what was required, you would be considered graduating out of AEP, and that way you wouldn't have to go to study hall or anything like that anymore. When it comes to meeting times, Coach Hester did it differently, as in he would just, like, we would have meeting times, but they weren't as effective as Coach Walker's meeting times. I know as me as a kicker for the specialists and special teams, we normally do our special teams meeting first, and then after that everyone breaks up into their position groups, and then the meetings go on from there until practice time. And then lastly, Coach Hester, the time he was here, we never had exit interviews, which is interviews after the season to go over how well we did or things we could improve on for the future years. And Coach Walker, when he came in, we had those. And basically, it was more of an encouragement meeting, and he went over grades and also like how we performed in the previous years and how we can try to better ourselves for the future years. And if we're seniors, it would pretty much be like him congratulating us on completing 4 years of football and him encouraging us to our next step of our life. And overall, he just, just encourages us.
Good.
My coach supervises my teammates and I in several different ways. She passes out progress reports in order to make sure we have good grades and we're not missing class or we're late. She also She also supervises us in practice, making sure we're making the correct movements, whether it be offense or defense. She also makes our captains go out and make sure we're in on time as far as curfew goes, like the night before games. And overall, she just makes sure we're doing what we're supposed to on a daily basis.